Let me ask you something. How many of us would turn down a once-in-a-lifetime career opportunity just because our teenager still lives at home? Now imagine you're Matt Damon, Oscar-winning actor, global icon, and your answer is a resounding no to Broadway because your 15-year-old daughter hasn't left the nest yet. This isn't just about parenting, it's about redefining what success looks like in the modern era. Personally, I think this reveals a seismic shift in how we value time versus ambition. What makes this really interesting is that Damon isn't just prioritizing family, he's weaponizing it as a non-negotiable boundary. In my opinion, this isn't just a personal choice, it's a cultural statement. When someone with his level of fame and resources says, "My kids come first," it forces us to confront how much of our own lives are dictated by external validation versus internal priorities. Here's the thing, Damon's refusal to do Broadway until Stella is a freshman isn't just about scheduling. It's about control. His rejecting the traditional actor's grind, the grueling rehearsal schedules, the late nights, the emotional toll, because he's built a life where his family isn't a backdrop but a central character. What many people don't realize is that this kind of choice isn't easy. Think about the pressure to make it in Hollywood, where every role feels like a stepping stone to legacy. But Damon's approach flips that script. His saying, "Legacy isn't about how many stages I've stood on, it's about how many dinners I've shared with my kids." And let's talk about that 2-week rule. No matter what, he and his daughters can't be apart for more than 2 weeks. This isn't just a parenting tactic, it's a rebellion against the nomadic life of fame. When he says they set up camp wherever we were, it's a metaphor for how he's reshaped his career around family, not the other way around. A detail I find fascinating is how he describes family dinners as non-negotiable but admits they've failed at times. That vulnerability is what makes this story relatable. How many of us have set routines we barely follow? Yet here's a guy who's built his life around the idea that presence matters more than perfection. What this really suggests is that even high achievers struggle with the same human flaws: distraction, routine fatigue, the illusion of connection. If you take a step back and think about it, Damon's choices reflect a deeper trend: the rise of intentional living among public figures. Celebrities like him are no longer just role models, they are case studies in how to balance ambition with authenticity. This raises a deeper question: are we witnessing a generational shift where success is measured not by trophies or titles, but by the quality of relationships we nurture? Because if someone like Matt Damon is redefining success on these terms, it's not just about him. It's about the kind of world we're building, one where family isn't an afterthought, but the foundation. So here's my closing thought: what if the most powerful legacy we leave isn't in our careers, but in how we choose to show up for the people who matter most? What would your answer be if you were asked that question right now?